Hello and welcome to another Cygnus Destroyer Anniversary Special. It was 4 years ago as of this week that I created this channel, and I'm very proud of what I've accomplished during this time. I've defended many bad games and brought justice to the LJ and Rainbow, but some of my personal favorite moments involve a franchise celebrating a milestone of its own, Streets of Rage. The debut installment of the beloved Sega beat-em-up turned 25 this year, so I've decided to mark this grand occasion by returning to one of my most passionate topics, and I'm gonna kick things off with a couple of cool ROM hacks. Two brawler heavyweights collide in Candra Software's Simpsons hack. The iconic TV family fills in for the group of heroes in order to eliminate Mr. X's evil empire, now apparently hijacked by Mr. Burns. While some may write this off as a simple sprite swap due to the unaltered stages and enemies, the attention to detail in regards to the titular characters is quite impressive. The sprites and digitized voice samples are based on and lifted from their appearance in the classic Konami arcade machine, and the resulting blend is sure to please fans of the long-running Fox sitcom. Continuing the TV theme is Cake Warden's brand new mod called Beavis and Butthead Do Streets of Rage 3. The teenage pranksters step in for the brave police officers, and they provide a little levity to this dark tale of terrorism and gang violence. The project is in an early beta phase right now, and I encountered issues which I'm assuming will be fixed in future updates, but the entire game is playable, albeit with some hilarious programming glitches via the patched in stage select option, so you can get an idea of what it will eventually become. One final piece of advice, Stuart sucks. Stuart sucks hardcore, so don't even bother choosing him. And now for the feature presentation. I mentioned in my original review that the community was doing a great job of keeping the spirit of the series alive, and my second video examined this in depth, but it left out what's arguably considered the most significant of these fan tributes. Well, the day has finally come to address this unfinished business by tackling the Streets of Rage remake. Released by Bomber Games in 2011, the unofficial Streets of Rage remake is a beat-em-up enthusiast's dream come true. The 1 year after the battle tag of the intro cinematic indicates that this is basically a reimagining of SOR 2, where Axel, Blaze, Skate, and Max again take it upon themselves to deal with the threat, only this time they're joined by Dr. Zan and Adam! Yes, Skate's older brother wasn't kidnapped in this universe, and he's ready to restore peace alongside his friends immediately from the character select screen. The classic Sega vibe is tempered with a slightly modernized aesthetic to make the player simultaneously feel at home and experience Streets of Rage like they never have before. Perhaps owing to the lack of memory restrictions, the remake packs way more punch than the cartridges by offering 4 separate routes and Streets of Rage 3-esque cutscenes that flawlessly segue between each new location. Regardless of which route is chosen, the presentation and core mechanics remain in the SOR 3 style, and there are branching paths that pop up along the traditional route that allow us to access completely new sections. Bomber Games even resurrected 3 scrapped driving segments, and it was mind-blowing to see the protagonists hop on board motorcycles, jet skis, and other crafts to take a brief detour mid-level. Unfortunately, as neat as it is, this addition to the franchise is ultimately a novelty that's not all it's cracked up to be, but it's counterbalanced by the numerous improvements on the initial formula. For example, Zan can now wield actual weapons instead of automatically transforming them to energy balls, and there's a blood option that brings the katana and knife slashes up to a Mortal Kombat-esque amount of brutality. Factor that in with the guns and frickin' rocket launchers added to their arsenal, and X and his goons can kiss their ass goodbye. Similarly to the final entry in the series, there are multiple endings for the different paths, which I'm not going to spoil, and completing a playthrough will reward points that are redeemable in the store. The store offers a wide variety of items to purchase, and the best method for gaining access to all of the bonus content is through a downloadable save file on the SOR Online website. Doing so will add extra playable characters such as Shiva and series newcomer Rudra to the roster, but it also unlocks the incredible SOR Maker. The SOR Maker is a tool for budding developers to hone their skills by crafting adventures of their own, which they usually share on the aforementioned site. I checked out a few of these for this review, and I was blown away by what I saw. Crystal X and Deus Ex 87 flipped the conventional hacking formula on its head by transporting the bare-knuckle crew into the world of Sonic the Hedgehog, Final Fight, and the TMNT. The latter focuses solely on turtles and time, but the former allows the ability to choose between the respective 16-bit trilogies of Sega's Blue Blur and Capcom's quintessential brawler. Glisp went the extra mile with a Syndicate story by conceiving of a potential Streets of Rage 4 that uniquely centers on the villain's perspective with Dr. Zero and his attempt to resurrect Mr. X. As far as I can tell, the 8 levels are brand new, and the music even deviates from the franchise to incorporate tunes from other sources such as the Power Rangers Genesis movie tie-in. I give Glisp a round of applause for coming up with such a clever concept, and I believe that a Syndicate story is worthy of being officially sanctioned by Sega, but my personal favorite of the bunch is the collaborative effort led by Badjab that provides an answer for what Adam and Max were doing during the final sequel. I questioned the wrestler's absence in my retrospective, but it turns out that he partnered with Adam to set about proving the innocence of their friends. Along the way, the duo gets wrapped up in the bomb plot, and as serious as the narrative gets, hilarity surprisingly ensues.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
The amount of work that went into these mods is truly staggering, and I can say with 100% certainty that Bomber Games is responsible for the best remake I've ever played. I could go on and on about all of the amazing features and Easter eggs, but I'll leave that for you to see for yourself by clicking on the free download link in the description below. You owe it to yourself to play the closest thing we'll probably ever get to Streets of Rage 4. Anyway, now that I've celebrated this double anniversary, I have another ROMhack video to work on. Be sure to come back for that, but until then, this is Matt, aka Cygnus Destroyer, signing out. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw and you want to see more, the boxes on the screen right now will lead to some more of my videos, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking on my avatar in the bottom right hand corner. Thanks again.